special guest tonight, don't we?
Yes.
Would you like to clue us in on who the special guest is tonight?
Oh,
it's Yooka from the classic
Yooka.
Revisiting of the 3D platformer genre.
Yes.
Yooka-Laylee.
I got it, Robbie. This is my special EJ exclusive. I'm going to do an interview with Yooka from from what was it?
Yooka-Laylee.
Yooka-Laylee, the game.
And of course, the follow-up, the 3D platformer Yooka-Laylee and its follow-up, Yooka-Laylee and the Impossible Lair, which is, of course, the Donkey Kong Country Returns-inspired
I'm doing it.
platformer with
Yooka.
bees.
Yooka, let's talk about that. Are you here, Yooka? What's up?
This is Yooka. What's going on?
Yooka, I have so many questions I don't even know where to begin, but I'm here. We are here in Las Vegas. What's happening in Las Vegas? Go.
Well, you see, I wouldn't really know because, after that last game with the Kickstarter, we kind of blew through all of our money, and Laylee had to kind of take some money out from the Columbos, and it's been kind of stressful. We can't really go within the city limits, or else they said they were going to break my kneecaps.
So what you're saying is Kickstarter is not easy for anyone, even a big star like Yooka.
Kickstarter, of course, Yooka. If I can kind of pull on your ear for a second there, Yooka, the follow-up to Yooka-Laylee was, of course, Yooka-Laylee and the Impossible Lair. And if I could get your opinion on what you think may have made people decide to go away from the 3D platformer and towards the 2D platformer with the kind of interstitial Zelda overworld style.
Did you hear that?
Well, I think it's sort of a matter of people struggle with collecting a bunch of items in front of them. It's one of those things. It goes back to the Banjo-Kazooie days where Kazooie would just collect, one Quaalude after another. They had to kind of translate that over to eggs because it wasn't very kid friendly. And the new generation doesn't get that. They're too busy, looking up free porn on their phones. They don't really get.
Here's the thing: I think you're onto something here. I do think, because I find that those Banjo-Kazooie, those platformers of old, had a kind of magic to them, had a value to them that some of the current batch do not. And I don't think that. Why do we have to feel like we are being held back by the kind of flippant impulses of a newer generation of gamers?
Is that true?
Well, I would agree. I think it's mostly just a matter of attention span. You have all these kids doing their Fortnite dances, and I remember I heard Grant Kirkhope say one time that the next time he saw a kid try to do that L dance, he was going to drop kick them into a fire hydrant. And I had to agree with him because it's affecting children's games, where all these kids are playing these shooter games that require no attention span, and it's just kind of, the whole genre is, in the shitter.
What if there was a dog named Git and a cat with a road on the dog named Tar? Would you do that?
I don't know about that. See, if they were going to do a musical instrument, I heard they wanted to do the clavichord, but it's
so that would be like a snake named Clava, and he was friends with a turtle named Cord.
Clavichord?
Yeah. Yes. Robert Cord. Yeah.
Well, who rides on who?
It would be. Well, see, I think the turtle would have to be the one who rides in the snake, because if you think about it, a turtle going, no one wants to play as that. When you have a bear with a backpack, it's already a pretty hard sell. At least
the bird's in the backpack.
They can get away with it. Well,
what about a fish named Tron?
It's a matter of perspective. I don't know. I was pretty high at the time.
I'd like to ask you one last question, which is that your Team 17, the developers of Yooka-Laylee and Yooka-Laylee Impossible Lair, are based in the UK. Why don't you have a different accent?
Same question.
Well, that's because I'm from Tomahawk, Wisconsin originally. I moved to the UK about 5 years back, when they were starting to do casting for this game. And you'd be surprised. They have some, Kazooie in particular, she's got a pretty filthy mouth. She drops the C-bomb quite a bit. It's more of a cultural difference, I guess, that I kind of can't really adapt to, from Midland America.
Well, Yooka, don't mean to interrupt you there, but we do have to keep moving along. But we're going to keep you here because we have. You're lucky, Yuka. Did you know that?
Do you have Tums?
I didn't really know that.
They should call you Lucky's Tale. Get it?
I
okay.
do.
Because
get it.
Yooka, you're here just in time for an EGI exclusive look back at Summoner 2: A Goddess Reborn.
You ready?
The classic action RPG by Volition, the makers of Red Faction 2, Red Faction Armageddon, Red Faction Guerrilla, and 2005's The Punisher. Hey, Yooka.
Hey, Yooka.
Here's some more stuff that you might have missed about Summoner 2: A Goddess Reborn. Are you ready for some quick facts about Summoner 2, Yooka?
I'm as ready as I can
control
get.
up to
The
3
only
different
Volition
party
game
members.
I'm really
Quest,
into is Saints Row.
real-time combat.
Real-time combat?
Travel through over 30 fantasy-based landscapes. 30 hours of gameplay. And it was a game optimized for the GameCube. So let's look at some footage of Summoner 2: A Goddess Reborn for our special EGI look back at Summoner 2: A Goddess Reborn on the GameCube.
It's interlaced.
What?
Footage interlaced.
Now, I think this is supposed to be a funny part, Alan.
Because
the TV's so big.
This is quite an
if you look,
experience, I can tell you.
The character models are slightly too small, or the objects in the rooms are too large. So this is a gag.
Got it. It's funny.
This is optimized for the GameCube. Requires 19 blocks of memory card space, and it is a single-player action RPG.
Volition, they can always come up with something that really makes you feel that effect of secondhand weed. It's quite impressive.
Volition, of course, is the creators of the GeoMod engine. GeoMod engine games were allowed you to shoot environments.
Port side! Main mast!
And create dust and debris. But not in Summoner 2: A Goddess Reborn.
See, the thing about these sort of GameCube games is that it really depends on what year you get them in, because sometimes they look pretty solid and you get your twin snakes and that sort of thing, and sometimes they look, not the greatest. But this seems all right. I give Volition credit where it's due. Their track record is usually pretty solid, I think
Thank you for stopping by, Yooka.
Thank you, Yooka.
Go to the phones and take
Yooka.
calls from the viewers. But it's always great to see
Thanks.
Yooka. And we will look forward to your adventures in the future. I was such a big fan of